What's up, boys? It's Rav here. I just finished making my Fury guide. It should be, well, it's going to be up before this one because I'm posting that one first. But this one's going to, obviously up right after it. I have to take a little bit of a break in between because making a guide for like 30-40 minutes takes a little bit out of you. But yeah, I'm going to try to keep this one as short as possible. There could be missing information in this video that'll be in my Fury guide. Definitely check both of them out. Um, you know, Marauder and Sentinel are very fun classes to play visually. But yeah, we're gonna get going here very soon here. Now for gear, use the Scent of the Fearless. If you don't, you're missing out. And I actually, I didn't explain this in the last video, but I have 110% accuracy, mainly because I like to play Carnage. Just go with 105 if you only want to play Fury, or Concentration. But yeah. Now for technicals, you can use Perseverance, which is my personal favorite. This is honestly going to bring back Marauders DPS-wise. So using your Zealous Leap with your Force Clarity is going to give you a 20% crit chance for 2 seconds, which you can use on, obviously, you want it to use on your Auto Crit Focus Burst, which is one of your heaviest hitters. And then depending on what you have at the moment, I would either hit Concentrated Slice, because it's a very big hit, or Blade Storm if you don't have Concentrated Slice up, because Blade Storm is an auto crit in the first place. And this is going to raise your crit chance, which is, you already have a ridiculously high crit multiplier. So, last video I went to abilities first. This one I'm going to go into utilities first because last time I was kind of a dingbutt. So in Skillful, we're going to take Jedi Enforcer. It's going to increase the damage dealt by Rebuke by 15% and increase its duration by 4 seconds, up to 10 seconds here. And you'll see that once we get to the abilities section. Adamant, you generate 4 focus when you're stunned, immobilized, and put to sleep or knocked around. And it's going to reduce the cooldown of your Resolute by 30 seconds, but that's not what we're taking it for. You're going to be getting stunned, slowed, and rooted in PvP. This is just going to keep you, stock full of rage so you can attack at all times. Stoic, it's going to increase your damage reduction by 2%. And you're going to build 2 centering stacks when you're attacked. And it can't occur more than once every second and a half. So let me show you the centering stacks. They look like this. Another point you might want to take is Debilitation. It's going to make your blade Barrage, or you could just call it Ravage, like most people do, an insta-root for 3 seconds. Now in Masterful, you have a heap of options to take, but these are the main 3 that I take because I'm mostly a solo player. Watchguard, which is going to reduce the cooldown of Pacify by 15 seconds, which is this. And it's going to increase its range by 6 meters up to 10 meters. And it's going to reduce the cooldown of your Force Kick, which is your interrupt, by 2 seconds. And Rebuke could be used while stunned, and that's pretty big because we already took this point to make it last 10 seconds. So we can, combine these 2 points with a lot of synergy here. So now you have a 10-second defensive that you can use while you're stunned, and I typically save that for when I am stunned. If I know I'm taking light damage, just like AoE damage, I'll just pop Adrenal and Transcendence here. Next, I take Force Fade, although this is kind of like an optional thing, and I'll explain that in a minute. It's going to increase your movement speed by 15%, and the movement speed bonus of Force Camouflage by 20%. And it's going to increase your duration of Force Camo by 2 seconds, up to 6 seconds. So I'll show that off here real quick. You're a quick boy like this. And while I'm showing that off, I'll also show off the Devil Spliced Jeans tactical as well. This is going to make it to where your Transcendence resets the cooldown of your camo, so you can use it again. And if you were just using Devil Splice Genes, which I wouldn't for Fury, but for Carnage, you could optionally take Expunging Camouflage, which removes all cleansable effects when activated, roots, slows, and debuffs. Now I'm going to go back to Perseverance, because it's my favorite technical. Then you got Ardor, or Ardor, I don't know how to say it. Transcendence no longer requires centering stacks, but will go on for 30 seconds when activated. An optional two ones you can take. Pulse, which is going to reduce the cooldown of your Force Stasis by 15 seconds, which would be, kind of worth taking, but I would like to survive. And then Enduring, which I actually kind of highly recommend taking if you're not taking this, because that's going to increase the duration of your Guarded by the Force, which is Undying Imp side, if it's easier to, think of it like that, by 2 seconds, and reduce its cooldown by 30 seconds. So it's going to give you 6 seconds, basically, of 0 damage taken, and it's going to decrease that cooldown to 2.5 minutes. But like I said, though, I like having camo so I can get away and go heal. Now, in Heroic, Fleet-Footed, when Transcendence is applied or refreshed, it's going to purge movement and pairing effects. Additionally, the movement speed bonus of Transcendence is increased by 30%. So this is more of a team gameplay point, but also helps you because you're break roots and stuff. So say you're rooted and someone's casting like a big ability on you, you can just pop this and use your Mad Dash then, because I don't actually take Blade Blitz. The main reason I don't take that is because there are other important abilities or utilities for survival. These two right here that I might go into in a second. So Zealous Judgment, Dispatch refunds 2 focus when used on a target affected by your Pacify, and can be used on any target affected by your Pacify, regardless of remaining health. Additionally, activating Pacify grants Zealous Judgment, reducing the damage you take from force and tech attacks by 75% for 6 seconds. So Pacify in its base form is a 90% white damage accuracy reduction. Combine it with that utility point, and you definitely end up with an overpowered ability because you're getting, you're lowering, the accuracy, and wait, what? Oh, I don't even have my gear on. No, I do. Why? Oh, the dummy type. Okay, that was weird. But yeah, you're getting basically a mega defensive out of that because they can't hit you with their white damage, and their yellow damage is going to hit for like weeks. Awesome. This can be used to effectively shut down other Marauders, Assassins, and Rage Jugs. Now, for Zealous Ward, so activating your Saber Ward is going to grant you immunity to stun, sleep, lift, and incapacitating effects for 6 seconds. And getting attacked while Saber Ward is active heals you for 3% of your maximum health. It cannot occur more than once every second. So I'm not sure if that effect lasts, the healing effect, lasts through the 6 seconds of Zealous Ward, or if it's for the full duration of Saber Ward. But the way you can tell someone is rocking that utility is if they have that little thing around their head right here. And that's obviously Saber Ward, which is 50% white damage DR and 25% absorb per force and tech. So now we're going to go into, actually no, before I do that, a couple other utilities you may consider, well, one other I guess. Intercessor, Force Sleep, grants an additional charge. I would only really take this on combat / Carnage, but if you wanted to be trolly and take it on Fury, you could. And Fury already has, an anti-stun maneuver, so I would give up Zealous Ward for one of those two, right here. Now for abilities. I'm trying to keep this video very short so I can go to sleep because I have school in the morning. Strike is your basic attack. I'm going to do a couple of those to get some rage built up. Slash is your second basic attack. It's kind of a filler though in this spec. Got your leap, 30 meters. You can use it from 10 to 30 meters. So if I'm over here, as long as I can see the target, I can use it. And then your other leap right here is Zealous Leap. They're both gonna proc Focus Burst, Force Sweep, and Blade Storm. These two, you can only use one of them before the other stack disappears. Okay, so then your Zealous Leap is 0 to 10 meters. So it's the opposite of that leap. But yeah. Next you got your Blade Barrage, which is your Ravage, also one of the coolest animations in the game. Got your Force Sweep, which is great for cleaving when it's procced particularly. Force Stasis, which is your hard stun. Build a little bit of rage here with my Zealous Strike, which is a rage builder and a debuff. Got your Concentrated Slice. Come on, there we go, which is one of your biggest hits. And you can combine it with your Tactical and Zealous Leap while under Force Clarity for fun stuff. And now we got Pacify, which I already explained a little bit earlier, and I can use Dispatch when that's up. Force Clarity is going to affect your Blade Barrage, Concentrated Slice, Dispatch, Cyclone Slash, and with the Perseverance Tactical, it's going to affect your Zealous Leap. Oh, and Slash. But yeah, and I just wasted all this, so it's whatever. But you're going to be building them back as you attack anyways, because you got a God tier armor set combo. Next, you got your Twin Saber Throw. You're going to be seen throughout the map when you use this, so make sure you have some fun saber crystals. I like my light blue crystals. These are the Eternal cyan crystals that you can get from the Eternal Championship. Just go in there with a jug, overpower it real quick. Next, you got your Zealous Strike, obviously, Rage Builder, as I just said. Zealous Leap is your inside of 10 meters leap. Raging Burst, which is one of your biggest hits. You definitely want to use that after Force Clarity and Zealous Leap. I need to build up some rage, so I'm going to use my Zen here, which is going to build rage on this spec. Then you got your Cyclone Slash, which is affected by Force Clarity, obviously, and makes your lightsabers look really cool for a couple seconds because they look like the Furious Saber. That's why I love spamming it in videos, if you haven't noticed. Okay, so then after that, you got your Blade Storm, so let me just build some rage. Blade Storm is a 10 meter ability, and it's an auto crit, but it's definitely not a super hard hitter. Okay, so then you got Mad Dash, which in this spec we didn't take the thing for it to be used while rooted, but you can just pop your Transcendence and Mad Dash like that, because you got the root break on Transcendence. But if you don't want to break it, I mean, you can always wait. It's whatever. Obviously, Pacify, I just explained. You got your Force Camo, which the way we've spec'd into it, will be a 6 seconds, which does make a heck of a lot more difference than the 4-second regular one, in my opinion. So I've already talked about Rebuke and Saber Ward. Now I'll talk about Guarded by the Force / Undying. You get no damage taken for 4 seconds, which is amazing. If you're about to take a huge amount of DPS from 3 people coming at you, and with this utility right here, you can make it last 6 seconds, but you would be giving up probably Force Fade for that. And you got your Force Kick, which is one of the coolest looking interrupts in the game, especially on this spec because you have the 2 sabers swirling. But it is unfortunately a 4 meter ability, so you have to be right next to the healer basically. Got your Force Exhaustion, which makes you unstunnable as long as you have this little bubble around you. for a couple of seconds. I believe it's 6 seconds. And you got your leg slash, which is not used enough by people, but it does give trauma here, and it's a slow. Obviously you got your transcendence, which I've explained multiple times. Then your last ability, well, one of the last is awe. It's your mez, usually gets broken in regs, but it looks pretty cool. And then the last two that I will explain are Valorous Call, which builds an instant 30 stacks of centering that you can use on Zen or Inspiration, which is your raid buff. It gives you a little damage boost. So you could, go off of your rotation like this. Is what it is. But yeah. So going into the quick rotation, you just kind of saw it, but I'll explain it here real quick. I'll pop Zen for the maximum effect here. So, basically first you want to use Force Exhaustion, so you get that stun immunity, right? And then from there, it depends on distance. Obviously if you're jumping into a fight, you're going to use Leap and then Force Exhaustion, but I hope you've already used your Zen so you can be building Rage. So from there, your highest burst is going to come from Force Clarity and Zealous Leap, and then Focused Burst, and then Concentrated Slice or Blade Barrage, depending on what's up. Not really a major thing. So if say Concentrated Slice is already used, then you would do this, and you're still gonna do a decent sized hit, but it's not always gonna be the best thing in the world. And you see right there, obviously I couldn't use it because my rage has been taken away from Focused Burst. That's all I can think of presently. I think that's actually it for this guide. Oh no, class matchups. So I talked about it obviously in my Fury video, kind of at the end of it, but I'll go into it real quick. So against Jugs, definitely watch out against Skank and Venge Jugs, because Venge Jugs obviously have dots. Skank Jugs can just out-survive your DPS completely because of all the defensive, things that they have. But against a Rage Jug, you kind of stand a decent chance because you have more defensive capability than a Rage Jug does. But they have, self-heals. I'll definitely say don't hit your Blade Barrage or Force Exhaustion into ED, because Exhaustion is obviously a dot, and Blade Barrage is 3 hits, and so that's going to take 3 stacks of ED and heal them for a decent chunk in the first place. Against other Sentinels or Marauders, you can pretty much just shut them down with Pacify. If they're popping, they're guarded by the Force/Undying, you just pop your Pacify on them, and they can't do anything in that period of time. It's whatever. If you get pacified, I would definitely hit your Force Camo, because you're not going to be able to do any DPS anyway, and you don't want someone just free casting on you while you can't do anything. Against Assassins, a good Hatred Assassin is going to be able to out-kite you and all that, and they're going to beat you. Deception you can match up to pretty well. Your Pacify is going to shut them down for a couple of seconds, but as long as you keep that stun immunity up, you're going to be golden against an Assassin. Against a Tank Assassin, you're probably going to be able to beat them Tank or Skank. It's whatever. They're not that great. Against Sorks, the 2 DPS Sorks are going to be your Nightmare. A really good Lightning player is going to hurt you, but a decent Madness player is going to make you regret your life. But against a healer, you will be making them regret their life, because what you can do is you can go in there with your stun immunity and, you know, go in there with your leap and break their bubble so everyone, you know, can jump on them subsequently. And you'll be able to go into DPS while they're just like, why didn't my stun bubble work? What am I doing wrong? But yeah. Against mercs, you will not stand the chance against IL, and a heal merc will be able to out-heal you because they're so tanky. And then an Arsenal merc, you stand a decent chance because of their DPS drop. Since 6.0, they are going to be still pretty tanky and kitey, but you have the tools to make up for that, for sure. Just watch out for net. I'm getting a little tired here. It's 3:10. I've had a very long day. I've been up since like 10 in the morning. So against PTs, just don't go for the tank PT. It's going to be too annoying. Pyro PT might be able to out-survive you, so I wouldn't take a chance. But against AP, generally, you should be able to stand up to them as long as you use your DCDs smartly. But it's not, you know, not always going to happen like that. Let's see. Whew. Against snipers and gunslingers, you'll be able to hound a marksman and just ruin their day. An NG sniper can ruin your day very easily, and then a virulent sniper, if they're good enough, can ruin your day just by out-kiting you. Operatives, you are going to be pretty annoying to the operative healers. Not the bane of it like Deception is, but you'll be able to match up fairly well against concealment, as long as you have, you know, quick reaction time and you keep that stun immunity up, because as I posted in my video yesterday, they do have 2 hard stuns, most of them, and they got it on that 27-second cooldown, so they got 2 charges of it every, you know, 50 seconds basically. And obviously they can roll your damage. You gotta kind of use your hard stun after they've made at least 1 roll. You would want after 2 rolls, but it's going to be very hard to force them into that. And they're going to have self-heals going at all times if they're smart. They can, you know, root you or flashbang you or sap you and just heal up right in front of you, and you're going to be really mad. But yeah. And then I would definitely stay away from lethality, because they just heal so much. It's stupid. But yeah, that's all I can think of for this guide. I'm planning on doing Sniper next when I get that geared, but that might be a couple weeks. In the meantime, I'm just going to try to post some gameplay and live my life. I was thinking about making like a video of my new apartment, but I don't know if you guys would be interested in that. I don't really know. I've already revealed my face to you guys, I guess, with my video with my roommate that I did for school. But yeah, that's all I can think of for this video. You guys have an amazing day, and may the force be with you. Bye-bye.